And then it was, we then started to describe this concept of not just ledgers with banking and financial services side of things, but could you instill trust in a digital means of transactions? Could you replace the financial system with technology and do it in a way that if you could then replicate a ledger across a multitude of systems? So those kind of conversations are taking place around the early part of 2008. And certainly the conversations were conceptually, I thought they were feasible in terms of that node kind of setup and the replication of that data. So that I guess was the initial kind of concepts around blockchain, and yeah, those were just meetings that we'd again just on a regular kind of cadence. So I've had the benefit of kind of having a touch point with Craig over a period of time to kind of see ideas and things evolve over time.
The word Bitcoin, was that mentioned during those discussions at that time?
Absolutely not. So Bitcoin as a phrase wasn't. In terms of the ability to transfer value from one point to another using a digital setup where you've got these nodes and they have the requisite security around these nodes. Certainly that was discussed, and that transpires as being blockchain. It wasn't necessarily discussed and labelled as blockchain at the time. It was more a discussion at the conceptual level. And when it comes to Bitcoin, and that's something I related to, and I think I questioned Craig, is analogies is a very good thing in terms of explaining things to one another. And I think I said to Craig, look, if you've got a little bit of, if you've got kind of something that's spread across nodes, is it anything like BitTorrent? BitTorrent's a technology that's been around for a large number of years. And I remember Craig telling me that, look, it's a little bit like BitTorrent. So BitTorrent's a technology that, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it's when you take a file, whether it's a file or a program or an executable, and instead of downloading that from one location, what the BitTorrent does, it does exactly that. It's spread across a number of locations, and each piece kind of knows where to get the next one, so you're able to get that one file from many sources. And when I said that to Craig, is it anything like BitTorrent? He said, no, it's not BitTorrent, because that's bits and pieces that are around the place. This would be, a ledger, and the same ledger that's in a number of different places. He said, okay, right, I got it. Yeah, I understand the concept.
Did Craig Wright ever show you or send you a white paper related to blockchain technology?
No, he didn't. No, never sent me anything. There was one meeting. I have a recollection that he did mention to me that he'd been working on documenting, what we've been discussing over a number of years. And he pondered and thought, look, you may get something in the post, and it was left as that. There wasn't anything I was expecting. I might get something. But we'll have a chat about it next time we catch up.
Even the length and of your professional and interaction and friendship and the discussions you had, are you today surprised that he didn't share a white paper with you?
Look, I'm sure Craig has other colleagues that he's engaged with as well. I wouldn't be the only kind of sounding board for Craig. No, look at when we would catch up, very often we'll kind of, again, just to get the concept over to one another, that we'd kind of scribble on kind of napkins and things. But Craig was always very careful about taking those napkins away, not leaving any kind of IP on the table. So look, it was a case of if Craig sends me something, I get it. If he doesn't, then we'll have a chat about it next time in any case. So.
When was the first time you heard the term Bitcoin?
It would have been quite a bit later, so I'd moved then from the piece of work I did with the government around the property transaction piece. I was then at the time, took up a job with Westpac. So Westpac's about the second or third largest bank in Australia. Started a role there as an enterprise architect for Westpac. Again, it was just out of the blue, having a catch up. And at the time, Craig had mentioned you might want to think about buying some Bitcoin.
When was this?
This would have been, well, I started in Westpac in September 2010, so this would have been probably early half of 2011.
And how did the conversation go? What did he try to persuade you to invest in Bitcoin or buy Bitcoin or even mine Bitcoin?
Yeah, that's right. So look, I'm not an incredibly wealthy person, all right, in full transparency. I've had the opportunity to invest in certain things over the years. Some of them have worked out, most of them haven't worked out. So talking about a digital currency isn't going to pay the mortgage and isn't going to put food on the table. And being married and having 4 daughters, around that time, there are other priorities. I didn't have any spare capital, disposable income. It was something that I couldn't afford, purely and simply.
Okay, so that was around 2010, 2011?
It would have been the early part of 2011.
Early part of 2011, yeah.
That's right.
After that period of time and until Dr. Wright was outed as Satoshi Nakamoto in December 2015, did you still have contact with him?
I think we actually may have been due to catch up around the time that some of that happened, because I remember sending a text to Craig to say, look, is there anything I can do? Is there anything that you need any help with? Because he cancelled the catch up, and just querying whether there was anything that was happening that was untoward. And it wasn't until that evening where they had the Australian Channel 7 news just to say that they were raiding the De Morgan offices was the first that I heard of any of that.
What was your reaction to the outing of Dr. Wright as Satoshi Nakamoto?
Well, when that transpired, it gave me cause to reflect and to, hindsight's a wonderful thing. And going back and kind of replaying the conversations we'd had, it was an idea, a concept around Bitcoin that had evolved over many years. And that's what it appeared to be to me. So when Craig was outed as being Satoshi, it was okay, don't know where the Satoshi names come from, but nonetheless, is it feasible, in my opinion, that Craig could be the inventor of Bitcoin? Based on my experience and my interaction with Craig over the years, without a doubt.
Thank you very much.
Advokat Haukås, har du spørsmål?
Just one question. I think it's just to clear up something, because in I think it was in 1999 you said De Morgan installs firewall systems for the Australian Stock Exchange. Was that correct?
That's correct. That was our understanding, which is why we engaged them at.
And just if we can just put up the A bundle on page 29, just for everyone to see. Just
29.
And in the middle here it says, is this then the De Morgan Information Security Systems that's mentioned in the second paragraph after career and business there? Would that be the company?
If it refers to De Morgan, then yes.
Okay, so it's not the De Morgan that is later founded by right? That was raided by the ATO.
It could well be. I've had no involvement with Bitcoin, so it isn't something I've followed. I've never owned any Bitcoin. I don't own any Bitcoin. So
I don't mean you to explain it to. I just think it was a bit confusing in the testimony. We're just talking about De Morgan and it's different companies. So yeah.
Any further questions?
Bare en observasjon når det gjelder grunnlaget for spørsmål, disse Wikipedia-sidene. Altså, vi har ikke gått til dem og sjekket det, men når det gjelder denne type informasjon, så er ikke Wikipedia regnet som en autoritativ kilde.
Hvordan Wikipedia-artiklene oppstår, og i denne sammenhengen så er det vel ganske aktive folk som har mye meninger som kan endre ting på Wikipedia. Men det betyr jo ikke at ikke mesteparten som står der kan være riktig. There appears to be no more questions for you.
Okay.
Is there anything you would like to add, for which you haven't been asked?
I just appreciate the opportunity to be here from Australia and to give me the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin wallet, blockchain, stablecoins, MetaNet, the evolution of money. Everybody is talking about Bitcoin today, but what exactly is it? Learn the basics from experts. Learn what Bitcoin is, how it works, and why it matters. Bitcoin 101, your ultimate guide to the fundamentals of blockchain.